I want to do a podcast about films.
Okay, I'll press record and then you start speaking.
So you press record after I've started speaking.
No. After I press record.
After you've pressed record, you'll start speaking.
You'll start speaking.
Oh, yes. I'll start speaking.
Yes, I'll stay quiet.
And press record.
And press record.
I'm already speaking.
No. I need to press record first.
Ah, yes. Yeah. You need to press record.
And then you can start speaking.
So anyone can press record.
Not anyone, just me.
Just you.
And then you start speaking.
Oh, I see.
Go and get a drink of water.
Hello and welcome to Move the Needle, a podcast where a pair of amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon, and I'm in our ship with my good friend Carl, where we'll be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can move the needle for one another. This week, it's the 1975 comedy from the Monty Python crew, which sees King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table embark on a surreal, low-budget search for the Holy Grail, encountering many very silly obstacles along the way. Shrubberies and swallows ensue. It's Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I put an investment in terms of time with the eldest yesterday.
Film education?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This film.
Oh, yeah, well, I watched it with Theo as well.
Yeah, she loved it. Entirely so I could say things to her like, bring me a shrubbery. Nice looking one now. So and I think it's going to pay off. I think she's going to get it. She's going to laugh. Maybe she'll retort. But enjoyed it. Good experience.
Good.
How did the boy find it?
Well, he did like it. He said he liked it. But you know when you say like, oh, what bits did you like? And you just named literally the last bit that you see.
Yeah.
You're just like,
it's classic kid stuff.
come on, dude.
Yeah,
like,
classic
that
kid
was
stuff.
literally, and not even the best bit. So, come on.
She kept saying, I like it because it's historical, but it's also funny. And then like we did the witch scene.
Yeah. What do you mean you did the witch scene?
Well, we watched the witch scene, right? I mean, we watched it all. We watched it all, obviously.
Right.
But like, we get to the end of the witch scene, and she's just going. They're trying to make it make sense, but that's silly. It's like, well, yes, that's the. But you're like explaining the joke.
That's the joke.
Yeah. But no, fantastic. Yeah, and then she's like telegraphing everything.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Trojan rabbit.
Yeah.
And he's explaining it, and she's just like hand on forehead, which of course is mirrored. So yeah, all very, very good fun.
Yep, I was a bit worried about showing it to him in a way because I couldn't really remember it that well, and I was just like, I don't know how rude it gets.
It's not really rude,
too.
no.
There's a couple of mild references that I don't understand, but yeah, generally all right. Carl, you failed me. What was your one job?
Look, did I fail you?
What was your one job?
All right, what is my one job? Let's start there. My one job is to provide a pod beer. And by the way, I've smashed it out of the fucking park this week.
Okay.
Right. My
Have I just
additional job
have I just come to expect the additional beers,
that I've
the
taken
looseners?
on. Yeah, the looseners. And I said to you, I didn't want you to go without. I said, look, a bit behind.
Pre-worn is pre-armed.
Yeah, I've not got any in, so if you want some, you have to bring them. And then I found some anyway. I've had a couple, which you're welcome.
I did bring some as well, just to be clear.
Yeah,
That's fine.
it's all turned out well, I would say.
But you know what this prompted in my thinking? Do you remember way back when we did the Oscars live reaction thing? I brought some snacks.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And I brought these buffalo nuts.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I left the buffalo nuts here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I keep on thinking, is he eating them?
No, they're still in the cupboard.
Really?
Yeah. Do you want me to get them out?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm so hungry.
No, yeah, I'll get them out after this section.
fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, look, I've eaten some.
Well, that's
full
fine.
full disclosure.
That's fine.
But
I was
there's a good amount left.
I was like, it's been quite a while. Well, I seem petty if I'm asking about some nuts. That,
No,
let's
you're
face
all right.
it, are
You're
from Aldi. They are not expensive nuts.
I'm taking good care of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you do.
Yeah.
You always do look after my nuts.
yeah.
to be fair.
Very good. Very good.
So, yeah, okay, good. Well, that is good. I don't seem too petty, and it gets to satisfy my hunger.
Yeah, get back on the nuts.
Yes.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, what's been going on this week? Oh my God, going back to the children. Synced up school runs.
What, you keep seeing the same people? Or is that me? Is that every fucking day?
Walking out, and then youngest sees one of her friends. I'm like, oh God, no.
Is this on the way out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to get to school and get back. And then a friend who's in front of us slows down. Like, don't slow down, just keep going. We'll catch you up. It might even work. By the time we catch you up, we'll be nearly at school. Just go. Or she'll run ahead and catch you or whatever. But she didn't. She slowed down. I'm like, oh, God. So now we're walking slower.
So this is on the way to school?
This is on the way to school.
Oh, right. I thought you said it was a pickup. Okay. Right. On the way to school. So
yeah.
Time is of the essence.
So, yeah. Well, yeah. And then we bump into other people on the way. We ended up in a fucking convoy, basically.
Did you attempt to just send your children off with them and just be like, see you later?
Yeah, that's what I should do. I should go, you've got this covered, right?
You're going there? Yeah.
Do you mind if I...
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the way to combat it. So,
I mean, I think that would probably make you a bad father. Just offloading your kids.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Teaching them independence.
Not bad.
I suppose.
Not bad father.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're at the age. Well,
one of them,
the eldest, at the age that they could, in theory, walk to school.
I know she keeps saying as well, and I'm just like,
it's quite far. There's roads.
Yeah, it's busy road.
Yeah. Not that they wouldn't be able to do it, but like, just imagine if something did. I mean, you just couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
I've done the risk assessment, and
I've seen Manchester by the Sea. I couldn't live with that shit.
The severity score is too high.
Yes.
And so even though the frequency score is low, it just doesn't.
Yeah, the impact.
It comes out too high. So. Yeah, no, fair enough.
Good stuff. I didn't think we'd go with a risk assessment on this podcast. I didn't think we'd ever go in that direction, but that's good.
Really?
That's good.
You didn't think we'd ever go work jokes? Honestly, I'm amazed it's taking so long.
That's true. Yeah,
right. Is that a time we're wearing out the dick jokes?
No, there's still plenty.
Yeah.
We've had some more feedback, Carl.
Ooh.
Or more comments, YouTube comments.
Oh yeah.
To be precise. Two of them, in fact. I mean, they are from the same person. And that's apologies, they are from a month ago, which by the time this comes out will be 2 months ago. Yeah. So sorry, upwards 771. But hey, there you go. So upwards 771. This is on our Mailbag episode from
or she.
Or what do you mean, or she? Oh, Mailbag. Sorry. Yep. So, oh, by the way, no, I'll come back to that. So, this was in response to the length of film. What's the ideal length of film? Was the question, right? And Upwards 771 says, I had thought 145 for a film, which I think is what I said, right? Basically,
yeah, ballpark. Yeah,
I think I said 148.
Yeah, 148, oddly specific.
And Carl makes a lot of great points. Let's not read it anymore. It's clearly a mentalist.
I wonder where that was going.
But then they go on and say, but let's be honest here. It's all about how it fits into your life. And when I look at the Omniplex website, Omniplex, where are they from?
Don't know, but I'm intrigued. I think they're from Ireland.
I'm wondering if this is one of my Irish work contingent. Who knows? Anyway, it's how it fits into your life. And when I look at the Omniplex website and it says 2 hours 40 or 2 hours 20 and it starts at 8:30 or 9, absolutely not happening. And I don't know if the film's worth that. I haven't watched it, but the point is it puts people off. Still never watched Avatar. Why? Because it's so feckin' long. Who has time for it? Feckin'. Definitely Irish.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. That's an unironic feckin'. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's spot on. It's that. I have two little things to add to that. One, have you considered going without sleep? That's my approach. And I'm totally with them on Avatar. I mean, we've got Avatar 2 to watch, which means I need to watch Avatar 1. And oh god,
I forgot we're still doing this.
I know. We need to talk about that because I wouldn't mind changing tack, shall we say?
Right, that's fine. Also, the 8:30, 9 o'clock start at cinema isn't 8:30 or 9, is it? It's more like 9:30.
Well, I was going to say that's one of the great things about a cinema is at that point, you're sort of in it. You're going, well, this is the thing. This is my event, and I'm planning other things around this, rather than trying to fit stuff in around. So I get the you're just at home watching a movie. I just want something that's a couple of hours long.
Yeah.
But with the cinema, I think it's slightly different. Yeah, because it's a trip out and everything. It's like going to the pub, isn't it? Hey, a bit rough this morning. Yeah, to the pub last night. A bit tired this morning. Yeah, went to cinema last night. Fucking Avatar. Back to back. Oh, never again.
Avatar.
Never
Jesus.
again. Isn't there a third coming out?
They have a third coming out.
Oh,
I imagine
God.
it's 3 hours 40 or something as well.
Dear me. But no, it's very, very good comments.
Good stuff. And then same person, Upward771, on the Baby Girl Date Night episode number 2. Available in all your feeds, good people. Go back and have a look if you've seen the film. If you've not seen the film, just listen anyway.
Makes no difference. Nothing happens in the film.
Even for 90 seconds, it's fine. Saucer of Milk was a bit random, to be fair. All of it was a bit awkward. But I think that's the point, really. I agree. I couldn't tell if Dickinson was good looking or not. I like this movie.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Next Bond.
Oh, God.
I actually saw him in an article mentioned as potential future next Bond as well. So it's spreading.
The chat's out there, but I mean,
is
it's
spreading.
always rife with that sort of thing, isn't it? I come back to what I said. I don't know, and again, that it might be out there, but I don't know what you could have seen him in and thought, oh, yes, he's got the charisma to play Bond. Anyway, yeah, good. That was good.
Good. So thank you. Keep the comments coming. We enjoy them when we eventually see them and read them out. But please do.
Yeah. You
If
wouldn't
we
know
do
it was
more, I'll actually look for them.
You wouldn't know it's so central to our validation, would you?
If I'm expecting them, I'll look for them.
Yeah.
And then I'll get disappointed if they're not there. So don't make me disappointed. Come on, people. Please. Anyway, what movies have you been watching?
Can I take you back to last week before we talk about my movies?
Last week. Wait, actual last week or last week?
Good question. Can I take you back to Jaws?
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Obviously, we did Jaws of Revenge, for which we watched Jaws as like a precursor.
We did.
And you scored that at 4.5 out of 5.
I know.
My question to you is, what's he got to do to
I
get that
don't
last
know.
half star?
You know what? I don't know.
What's missing?
I did it, and I don't know why I did it. And I did it at the time, and I was like, why am I not rating this 5 stars?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's fine for Jaws to be a 9 out of 10 film. I just wondered what was holding it back for you.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why I didn't go 5. I think because I'd rated 2 Spielbergs like 5 stars very recently. I was just like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Don't want to be that guy. He's just like every Spielberg
What were
film.
your
5,
Spielbergs?
5, 5. Jurassic Park and E.T.
Okay.
So really, if E.T.'s a 5 star, Jaws has to be a 5 star.
Yeah, well,
Really?
we're going to do E.T. at some point, aren't we?
Might rewatch Jaws again anyway.
I need to rewatch Jurassic Park because I've got that down to like 4.5, I think.
You do not.
Yeah, it's because
What's wrong with you?
It's because.
What are you talking about?
Well, so to flip my question around.
Yeah,
to you,
what's it? What?
Well, I can tell you that's the difference between the two of us.
Okay, fine.
So
How does it lose the half star? then,
it's
Phil?
because and it had 5 to lose.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
It had 5
and
to
it lost
lose.
half. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
But why it loses half a star is because one of the brilliant things that underpins Jurassic Park and indeed Jaws is how little you see of the creatures, how underplayed they are. And it just starts to get a bit silly with the raptors when, rather than stalking them through the building, they're basically having a showdown with it just outside the building in a like car parky type bit, wherever it is.
Car parky.
Well, I don't know. There's some cars out there. It's a yard. I don't know. And it just gets away from what had made the rest of it so good and so chilling.
I mean,
I
that's
just
harsh.
like, I just like, oh, that's just a bit daft now.
Oh,
That's the thing. It just got into that's just a bit daft now. They're not as scary anymore. And I'll tell you why I rated it like that is because I've recently watched. Oh, when I rated it, I had recently watched the Jurassic Worlds,
right.
and they are silly and overblown. And it was a bit like, that's a bit Jurassic Worldy.
So
rather
Jurassic
than a
World
bit
people have
Jurassic
gone
Park.
like, the best bit. Of
Yeah,
Jurassic
that's
Park.
what they've done. Yeah. It's when we suck all the craft out.
You
of
know
it
when
and
they're in
make
the
it
car
silly,
park?
Yeah. The car park. Well, that's a yard type thing. Not important.
You know what? Actually, I do remember now.
But it could be harsh.
I did actually have a petty reason for not giving Jaws.
Oh, go on, yeah.
I mentioned it on the Jaws of Revenge podcast, actually, which was the score at times I felt.
Oh, yeah, you
didn't
felt it was a
match
bit silly.
Yeah, I felt it didn't match the tone of what it was going for, and it took me out of it a little bit. That was what I was thinking.
Fair enough. I mean, I think you're wrong on that.
I might be wrong. Hence the rewatch, because it had been like a long time since I've watched it. Yeah. So a lot of it was like, I don't remember this at all. This is great.
I think that was a bit of affirmative action they were about to take, and it's set in with
quite possibly. I mean, on the rewatch, I might be like, oh no, this is the adventure part.
Yeah, that's right, adventure. Yeah.
But yeah.
Good. Now, you said, what did you say, Jaws? You were like, as a title, does Jaws work as a title?
Yeah.
And we were like, because
Teeth,
in
innit?
theory, Jaws, it should be teeth. Have you seen Teeth?
No. Is that the down below
Out loud.
teeth. Down
loud, please. Yeah. Down below teeth.
Down below teeth.
What do you mean?
The teeth in the vagina.
Yes, yeah, it is the teeth in the vagina.
I've not seen it. No. You?
Yeah, so a while ago. But yeah.
Yeah. Any good?
Oh God, no.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Jaws had teeth. It could have taken teeth. Teeth's a much
It's a
newer
worse
film.
title.
Yeah,
for sure.
And now it's ruined forever.
Yeah.
But there you go.
Did Shark have teeth down there as well? Was
No,
Jaws,
but they do
was Jaws a he or a she?
They do. Good question. But boy Jaws is
Boy Jaws.
boy
the singer.
Jaws. Yeah, they do have 2 dicks.
Do they?
Yeah, shark's got 2 dicks.
Where?
Same place as their dick. They just got another one.
So it's just like
They're next to each other.
bifurcated.
Yeah, they're next to each other. So I don't know why. Two lady sharks at once. I don't know. But
How big are shark sticks?
pretty large.
I mean, is it like a great white shark? Like, are the great black sharks, have they got bigger dicks?
I don't know what a black shark is.
I regret it already. I'm so sorry. It just came to mind. Right.
I mean, the goblin sharks, they've got really little ones. Maybe, I don't know. But they're quite big compared to the rest of their body.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What? They're quite big compared to the rest of its body?
Yeah. Because that's how you measure it, right?
Well, yeah, like proportion.
You're not going up against a blue whale. That's a non-starter. You're going to lose that fight before, Likewise, for as long as barnacles are... No, hang on, no, barnacles do beat humans. Never mind. Yeah, they've got like 40 centimetre dicks, barnacles.
Barnacles?
Yeah. Well, because they're stuck to the rock, aren't they, mate? So they send this little dick out.
Oh, right.
This little, like, weedly thing. Yeah, well, they do. It, like, crawls out. Yeah, look, I've watched a bit of David Attenborough. I don't know what from
good stuff. Yeah.
I think a gorilla's got the short straw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because quite a big animal, but quite a little dick.
Yeah.
So.
You can see the way they behave as well, isn't it?
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that pent up aggression.
King Kong.
Yeah, he's got a fucking massive chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why he goes after the human woman. It's
Exactly.
The only thing that'll fit
yeah.
him.
Come on, it doesn't define you. You're more than just that.
Well, we've got an interesting direction. That's good.
Well, I mean, it's entirely on brand, isn't it?
Yeah. What have you been watching?
The Big Sleep.
Right, I do know that.
Yeah, film noir, Humphrey Bogart, Lauren Bacall again.
Are we on a film noir?
Very famous one.
Little run?
I've not watched as many films this week, so...
Only 17.
No, only 6 besides... No, only 5 besides this one.
I watched 2.5.
2.5.
2.5 and a mini-series.
Big Sleep, Howard Hawks was the director. Very famous. Yeah, quite good. Very, very plot-heavy. It might be his most famous detective role in terms of name. Marlowe, Detective Marlowe is his name.
Okay.
Recognise that name. But yeah, it was all right.
I need something to drive me to be watching some older movies because I don't naturally.
Well, you watched Chinatown.
Yeah.
And you really like Chinatown.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So you should go and watch The Maltese Falcon.
Indeed. Yeah, I mean that's what I did. But if I need something to make me watch it, as in like I'm doing something for the podcast, or I need to complete a list, or I need a challenge. I need something to direct me on it.
We could do some sort of special episode. But the problem with that is it'd be really unpopular. Like more so.
Yeah. So would we notice?
Yeah, there'd only be Will listen to it basically. I mean, better if you want another angle into them. And I've said this before, you should get your arse in gear and play Grim Fandango. Because there's so many references in that come from all of these classic films.
Which I wouldn't get.
No, but the thing is, you'll get the taste for the sort of noir feel and storytelling.
Then
every time you watch one of those films, you go,
Fandango.
It's Chow Chilla Charlie! So yeah, because that's always fun, watching a film and going, oh, I know that reference. I've heard that reference before.
I got that. I got it.
Yeah, so, there's many ways you come at it from whichever angle you want, but I recommend it. It's a fun time. Do you know what I was saying the other week about the noir things? I watch them and I sometimes have difficulty appraising them in terms of going, God, well, was that any good? Because it's kind of bleak and it just happened and the story's sort of not really got anywhere because it's got this unsatisfactory ending, which is very noir. But in a way that is kind of like very enjoyable. The other thing I've realised is they're not very easy to criticise on the other end of that scale.
Yeah, you can't really find the stuff that's wrong with them.
Yeah, a lot of them you just go, oh, that's just really well sort of made and put together. The best I can usually come up with is you go, oh, it's aged a bit because of the way
they treat women.
Stuff like that, or it's a bit fast talky. That sort of stuff can be a bit of that sort of stuff. That trope comes from somewhere, obviously. That's the sort of best you can do, and then it's like criticising the film for aging never feels right. So, yeah, very very well made. I find myself thinking that a lot. You go, yeah, good. Yeah, so The Big Sleep, The Wild Robot.
Ah, so what did you think?
It's all right.
Oh, see, I didn't get the huge deal with it either.
No,
but I was genuinely tired when I was watching it. So, but equally, yeah, I don't know.
It
feels like it needs a rewatch.
It's all right. Flow was a lot better.
I enjoyed Flow more.
In terms of storytelling, and there's some similar themes going on.
Mm-hmm.
Flow is a lot better in terms of storytelling. I rated it 7 out of 10, or 3.5 out of 5, which is honestly higher.
That's pretty high for you.
Yeah, it's honestly higher than I perhaps would have thought so. Were it not for the fact the kids loved it. So, job one and all that.
Yep.
It passed with flying colours. In terms
but like
of
people
what
were
it was going
for,
for,
saying how like emotionally hard hitting it was and stuff, and I didn't get that.
I think one moment I was a bit, that's quite sad. The rest of it is very, very run of the mill sort of storytelling. To be honest with you, didn't think the voice acting was anything better than meh either. Pedro Pascal was okay.
Peter Nwongo's the robot was all right, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, but a robot, so that's fine. Matt Berry, distract him
because he's Matt Berry.
Yeah, I said in my review, I was like, "Can you have too good of a voice?"
Yeah,
he's a great voice, Matt Berry. But every time he says something, it's Matt Berry.
Yeah. For sure.
I'm ready for him to sort of go, "I can hear you, Clem Fandango," or whatever. So that's all right.
And what else?
Big Sur.
The Big Sur. Yes, you are.
Sur. Which is Jack Kerouac, another semi-autobiographical one. Follows on from that film I watched the other week, On the Road, which was very, very disappointing. This one was tonally a lot more pleasant, but pretty boring. Not great. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Oh, bit of a submarine one there for you.
Oh, yeah. There you go. We're back.
James Mason. Who else is in it? Kirk, what's his face?
Douglas,
yeah. I think that's it. Big names, is it? Peter Lorre. Ciao Chilla Charlie, if you know, you know.
I don't.
Was all right. You ever seen 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? No. You read it?
No.
Okay, right, moving on.
Isn't it? I think no.
Moving on. And then one more, Taxi Driver.
Ah.
Very good Taxi Driver, yeah.
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 You were mentioning it over coffee about how closely related Joker is to it.
Oh, it's incredible. Yeah. It's incredible just how much of the sort of plot beats and tone of that film has been not ripped off, that's the wrong word, but
heavily influenced.
Yeah. They've really laid that on thing, which is absolutely fine. I've no issue with that. It does slightly bug me that there is a whole generation of people that have not seen Taxi Driver that think Joker's this great work of art. But just go, the original's right there, and it's better.
I'll be honest. When I watched Taxi Driver for the first time, I think I've only seen it once as well. It didn't blow me away.
I think you'd like it now.
Yeah, I might
like Joker. So
yeah. I'd be like, shit, Joker, innit?
But that's the thing. I'm like, do people only like Taxi Driver? No comic book.
Yeah.
Shite.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Where's Bruce Wayne?
Yeah.
I've watched The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah.
So it's been on my Disney Plus watch list for a while. It's got Emily Blunt in it, obviously, so always worth a watch.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good, actually. A really great example of this. Like, I've written like this type of movie. Now, if you pushed me on, what do you mean? I'm not sure I could tell you.
Madness That Way Lies. Move on.
Type of movie, but you know what I mean. But it was smart, funny, great performances from Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, and Emily Blunt. Plus, always watchable Stanley Tucci. Just always it's like a warm hug when you're watching him. It's just great.
Do you know about what's the word? The snark in his book. So you know he's done a cookbook.
Yes.
And he prefaces like recipes with like little bits of what's been going on in his day as he's sitting down to cook this. And he says there's a bit that sort of went semi-viral about his wife and saying, I can't remember her name, but let's say it's Catherine, for the sake of the anecdote. It says, Catherine was out drinking with friends tonight. She won't be back till later. I chose to believe her. And then he goes under the dress like, oh, we're airing that, are we, Stanley? Like, oh.
Just to be clear, if I was making up a name for Stanley Tucci's wife, it would have been Tina.
Tina
Tucci.
Yeah. Does Catherine Tucci work any better? I'm not sure.
But yeah, really enjoyable. Knows exactly what it is. Doesn't go in particularly unexpected directions, but just very good fun. 4 stars.
4 stars?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's up there. And then
shit. You know who his wife is, don't you?
No.
And I do know this because I read it the other day. Stanley Tucci's wife.
Yeah.
Her name's Felicity. Would you like to know what her surname is? Yes, you would.
Hoffman.
No. Blunt.
Oh, I did know this.
Emily Blunt's
it's his sister. Yeah.
Her sister. Or she.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
You said his sister.
Oh, I meant her sister. Obviously, his sister would be a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I did know that.
Felicity.
I read that quite a while ago. But yeah, because then they meet. Wasn't it on The Devil Wears Prada premiere or something that they met or something along those lines?
Yeah,
it's quite the age gap. But
20 years. Yeah. 22 years.
Ooh.
There you go. Felicity was out drinking with friends tonight. I chose to believe her.
Very good. The other film that I've watched in full is Rustin. So I said I was going to watch Coleman Domingo.
Carlos Domingo.
Not Carlos. Coleman Domingo. One of those where it's like the performance is great, outshines the movie itself. Like the movie's fine, but you're definitely going like without the sort of good acting part of it, you'd be like, eh.
Is he your new daddy, do you think?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
No,
not yet. I do. He's very good. It's not a bad movie. It's just a little unremarkable.
Have you seen him on the Graham Norton show?
I have not.
I think it's the Graham Norton show. He talks about how he met his husband. And it's very love at first sight. He tells this whole story. And I think if you watch that, I'll seal the deal for you.
Okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah,
I'll look
you
it
just
up.
be.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Also has Jeffrey Wright in almost a cameo, kind of coming in, chewing some scenery in a very, very fun way.
It's good, Jeffrey.
Nothing wrong with it. I think I rated it 3, but I might be more like 2.5 actually on reflection. And also started rewatching Tick Tick Boom musical with Andrew Garfield about the guy who wrote Rent musical.
Another musical, yeah. A fucking meta musical.
Yeah.
This sounds awful.
I started watching because I was like, I'm not ready for bed yet, and then I started watching it, and I was just like, I'm not staying up for another hour and a bit, so I'll finish that. But the miniseries that I watched was Adolescence, though I know it's not moving,
yeah.
but everyone's talking about it, and it reached a point where I was like, okay, fine, I better actually watch this and form an opinion.
Are you good?
It's worth watching. Yeah. If nothing, just for the technical prowess of the single shot for a whole episode kind of thing.
I'll probably just watch Boiling Point again.
Yeah, I mean, Boiling Point is probably better.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. Did you cover everything you wanted?
Yeah.
Any corrections or
look,
anything?
probably,
but nothing you've.
No, I've not got them written down. No.
Okay. In which case, Carl, my beer can is empty, so it's time to unveil the podcast ale.
Was that another Jaws the Revenge reference?
Was it beer can?
Yeah.
Bad accent.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bottle.
Right.
Well, it sounds like a bottle. Let's have a look.
No glass either, because I'm not organised enough for that. So,
into the microphone, please.
This is a British
into the
pale...
Into the microphone, please.
I'm speaking into the microphone. Just fucking... Right, hang on.
Hello.
I'll try not to reveal this.
You said that curtain trick.
Yeah. This is a British pale ale tempered over burning witches.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah, sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. See if we've got any more blurb on the back. No, I mean, that's pretty lightweight, really, to be honest.
So what's it actually called?
It's called Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Oh, well, there you go. Who brews it? Black Sheep.
It is Black Sheep.
Black Sheep.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. A light golden beer with a fresh, zesty taste and a long, crisp, bitter finish. Goes beautifully with spam, albatross, or battered herring.
Very good.
Tastes like beer.
All right, let's introduce today's film, which is, of course, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. But before we start talking about the film, because although we kind of broke with tradition, started talking about the film straight away. After, what the hell?
That was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's weird. People going like, "Oh, new thought." No, just a slight meandering. But before, anyway, reminder of our rating: simple 5-point scale.
Simple.
Really like it, you like it. You're ambivalent, you don't like it, or you really don't like it. So, Carl, where are you on the scale?
I really like this film.
Okay, well, I am ambivalent. And I've written, this is funny. It's not that I don't like it. Yes, Simon, we know you're ambivalent.
yeah. That's what that means.
Literally the scale.
Yep. Thank you.
It's just that I don't see the big deal with it, right? Now, I had some chuckles, right? I counted them because I'm that guy. And I had a handful of lols, which again,
by the way, right,
counted.
Never met anyone before who counts how many times they laugh when they watch
Only
when
for
they
the
watch a funny
purposes
film.
of this, because I feel it's
I
important.
think you'll
right?
find that it is funny because I laughed 17 times at Superbad.
But the only reason for it is because I feel like if it's telling me it's a comedy, right, there needs to be a certain amount of laughs throughout it. This hits the threshold comfortably, though, to be fair. But when I think of it as a film rather than just a knitted together series of sketches, I think it just falls apart a little. That being said, I am quite hopeful that by talking about it, I might actually come around. So there may be some needle moving going on here, Carl, because this could be quite a fun one to talk about.
Okay, well, I mean, just render some of my opening statement here irrelevant. I mean, it holds up as a sort of a general commentary on comedy films, but maybe doesn't exactly speak to you on this, because it's a pretty tough gig, isn't it? Like trying to convince someone else what they should find funny.
Why aren't you laughing?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, it's a very personal thing. Comedy, it's your own taste, but nevertheless, I want you to take each thing I say as a personal attack. And at the very least, if I'm not able to convince you, then you should leave here racked with self-doubt. A mere husk of a man.
Always do.
No, so I love this. It's quotable. There's some iconic stuff. It's clever in places, which I'm sure we'll talk about. Silly in others, of course. And I think it's a really well put together film. We'll talk about this a lot in plot, because I don't also entirely disagree with what you've just said about it being a stitched together load of sketches.
Yeah.
But it tickles me in all the right places, I've got to say.
Okay, let's kick things off with the cast then. I always find this one...
Cast today?
Yeah, cast today. Yeah. I think I've been fairly consistently cast, haven't I? No?
I'm not sure. I'd have to check.
Yeah. I find this one is quite a tricky one to do, right? Because every actor kind of plays about 6 roles of differing sizes. Plus, it's a comedy / collection of sketches, as we kind of just already said. Not necessarily serious film acting going on here. So, not that I'm usually an authority on judging said acting anyway. But
that's a nice... Let's just... I'm going to jump in here because it's a good time to do it, because I've got a general note on the cast. Something you've just said. Comedy actors, I think, are good actors, because it's hard, comedy acting, because you've got to get your delivery right, which is the same for any acting.
Timing,
you've got to be but you've got timing, all those expressions and everything. I think it's a tough gig, comedy acting.
Yeah.
So I'm ready to sort of go... Just because they might have been synonymous with comedy, I'm ready to sort of go, there's some pretty good performances in here.
Yeah, I mean, as I was, before you rudely cut me off, I was going to say, like, obviously...
You're not used to that by now.
You obviously can't deny that they are good comedy performers because they built the whole bloody career on it, and it's kind of fairly iconic, right? So, but anyway, let's get to them. Mr. Graham Chapman as King Arthur, slash some other ones.
The voice of God.
But
the middle head.
The
hiccuping guard.
You know, I wrote hiccoughing because I've written hiccoughing and I can't just say hiccuping.
Yeah.
Yeah, some others. Go on. Say it.
He plays... Is it Concord? No. Yeah, is he Concord? One of the Knights' aides.
I don't know. No, I don't think he plays that one.
No. He's another one of them.
Anyway.
Parts. Yeah. Obviously, mainly King Arthur in this. And he's the one that's been tasked with playing off against the farce. So he's much drier and straight in the sort of way that what's his name was in Hook, Dustin Hoffman.
Right.
So obviously that's a silly role.
Yes.
But Dustin Hoffman is playing it ever so seriously. Not quite straight in the way that Michael Caine is playing Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yes.
Because that is straight down the line.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, he's more self-aware than that. But he is playing it ostensibly a straight role that's aware of the farce around them. And I think he's brilliant at that. I think he's doing a really, really good job. And he keeps things ticking over and sort of knitted together. He's basically the setup for a lot of the stuff, right?
Yeah. And actually, as you say, a much needed straight role throughout, so that the rest of it can even have a chance of working. So yeah, very good as Arthur, King of the Britons.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
That'll come up.
You don't vote for a king.
But he was pretty much a raging alcoholic at this time when he was when he was filming. Repeatedly forgot lines. The old DTs when crossing the bridge. And,
oh, really?
Yeah. He assumed there would be alcohol on set, and there was not, and they were miles away from anywhere.
It was a pretty difficult production.
Shoot. Yeah. I think it's kind of coloured it badly in a lot of their eyes, I think, as well, in terms of they don't think it's their best thing because they have horrible memories of it.
They must be annoyed that it's their highest rated thing.
Yes.
But there you go.
John Cleese.
So Lancelot the Brave.
Yes.
The Black Knight.
And the French
Bunting French guard. And of course, Tim the Enchanter.
Yes. Yeah. I almost died. He was like perched on the top of that weird hillock. He was just like, one side I could die, the other side I could get maimed, and he was just like clinging on as wind was blowing. He's very John Cleese, isn't he? Like he's I don't know how to say it, but he's very Cleesian.
Yeah. Lancelot and the Black Knight are similar, I would say.
Blustering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your taunting French guard's obviously silly.
Yeah.
And Tim the Enchanter is a bit more sort of, I don't know, what's the right word? Because he's a lot more sort of, not twisted, that's not the right word I'm looking for. Not mysterious isn't right either. It's just a lot more darker and like...
Not eloquent, not the word you're looking for here, is it?
No, it's not. No. But I really enjoy him. I think he's bringing all of those characters to light. I love them all.
I think my favourite was with the witch, where he's
he's playing dumb at the
yeah. I think that's his best performance.
Turn me into a newt.
I got better.
Not better. Yeah, very good.
Yeah. Eric Idle.
So Robin, the not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot.
Yeah. And the dead collector.
Yeah, I really liked his dead collector, like a marketplace worker or something.
Yeah.
He's Concord.
There you go.
And yes. Roger the Shrubber, of course.
Yes.
His highlight for me is the dead collector. Like I said, very market seller vibes. I can't take him. It's against regulations. And then just that sort of, can't you help me out? Look the other way. There you go, put him on. I'll see you next week. Yeah, very good. I like him.
I thought he did some good reactioning for the Sir Robin part when like the minstrel people were sort of singing. They turned his tail and run away.
Brave, 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 brave Sir Robin. Yeah. He buggered off and he pissed his pot and he... It's brilliant. Maybe knock that on the head for a while, lads. He's also good in the witches scene as well, alongside Cleese.
Yeah.
When they're sort of meandering through again. Because they're made of wood.
Yeah,
we did do the nose and the hat, but she's got a wart. Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, you could see. I was reading a bit about it and sort of rewatched some of the clips where they're basically corpsing in that scene in particular.
Yeah,
where just like
because there's a bit, isn't there?
Bites the knife.
Is that Eric Idle?
Yeah. He's biting the knife because he's just about to go, and Cleese turns away at one point, is like basically grinning, sort of to the side.
Yeah,
he's pretty much gone.
I can't imagine holding it together for that.
No. I mean that's the talent in itself in terms of a performance. Like not go with it. Terry Gilliam,
Patsy,
yeah, one line.
Old man from Scene 24,
and Green Knight
as well. But my favourite is what is your name? The bridge keeper.
Oh, the bridge one. Yeah.
I say something else though. He's got a great face for Patsy.
Yes.
Don't you think
he's an interesting looking fella, isn't he?
Yeah, he looks like a malnourished peasant.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, he's because obviously he directed the thing. Yeah. He's not a major character in any of it. He's very much just bit parts.
Yeah.
In it. Then we have Terry Jones as Bedivere.
So Bedivere the Wise, or the Left Head, or the Prince Herbert.
Are there many notes on Terry Jones for this one? He's fine. It's like sure, good. For this a Bedivere thing.
Prince Herbert's a fairly big part as well.
Is that the cowardly?
A little boy. I just want to sing. No. Cut that out. By the way, what a great approach to musicals that is.
Yeah, I thought you did. I thought you'd appreciate it.
Yeah. No, we're not having that.
Could always imagine you doing that in your broad Yorkshire.
I'll just stand up next time at this minute. No, stop that now. Not like that. Not while I'm here. So Bedivere the Wise, I mean, his biggest part is with the sort of the false logic and the burning of the witch and the duck and all the rest of it. It's very good. One thing I really love about how he plays Sir Bedivere is his helmet.
With lifting it up
every time. Yeah. And it just gives him this like weird, pretentious, weird quality.
Because the thing that he's lifting up has got like one bar in it as well, so you could it's not doing anything. Yeah.
I shall fetch my biggest scales. It's good. I enjoyed him.
And then Michael Palin.
So Galahad the Pure. The narrator, we'll come back to the narration. The right head, the King of Swamp Castle and Brother
Dennis.
Maynard. And of course, Dennis.
Yeah.
You could have said Dennis.
I think my favourite part is him as Dennis.
Man.
The political bits.
Yeah. And I'm 37.
Fantastic. Yes. He's got his obviously scene with as Galahad with the scene with all the horny maidens and Zoot, is it?
Zoot, yeah. Have a bit of peril.
Also pretty good in that. But he played the most characters in this. He played 12 characters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He's very good, Palin. What do you think to his narration? I think he's a fantastic narrator.
Sure. I didn't really notice massively, so probably means it was good.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's hamming it up a bit in this, but I do think he's got a really good voice for it. He's got a really good voice.
Well, he's got a lovely voice. I just remember from his travel doc days and stuff, and all of that. It's fantastic.
When we're talking about Dennis, we've also forgot about the woman, which is Eric Idle, that's Terry Jones as well, isn't it? The woman,
the mother.
Is
it his mother? Dennis's mother?
I don't think it explicitly says that.
I'm pretty sure it does. But
does it?
Yeah, that's the... Yeah.
I don't know, we had a king. I thought we were a autonomous collective. You're fooling yourself. We're living in a dictatorship. A self-perpetuating autocracy in which the working class... Oh, there you go again, bringing class into it. That's what it's all about. Yeah, anyway. I'll not do the whole thing. How many times
did you say you've seen this film, Carl?
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
I've seen it quite a lot, yeah. I've got a Monty Python and the Holy Grail board game,
Right.
which I've never been able to play because nobody else possesses the knowledge of. Because a lot of it is remembering like quotes and stuff. Nobody else.
So you need like a
Yeah. So if you want to pull your finger out, yeah.
I need to watch it another 18 times back to back. Yeah. Supporting cast. Anyone else you want to call out?
No. I've just gone for the main guys.
Connie Booth as the witch and Carol Cleveland as Zoot / Dingo.
It's a fair cop. Connie Booth, of course, John Cleese's wife, and does a lot of writing with them. Wrote Fawlty Towers. With John Cleese, yeah. She's very good, but yeah, she's just got that one bit. Who was the other one? Zoot.
Carol Cleveland, Zoot.
What else has she been in?
No idea.
Good, I'm glad you brought that up.
I thought I should just, mention some women.
Or she.
Have you managed to recast?
No.
No, it's a bit of a silly task, really, isn't it?
It is a silly task. On second thoughts, let's not recast. It is a silly task.
How could you possibly?
Well, you couldn't, could you? It's not the point.
Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, they do like the Four Yorkshiremen sketch. You must be familiar with it. Yeah. There's
sorry, not in this. I was confused
no.
for a second.
But there's been a reproduction of that with Alan Rickman, Vic Reeves.
Alan Rickman?
Yeah. Who are the two others? I can't remember. And they do that, and they put their own little sort of inflections on it and embellishments and all the rest of it. And it's just like, no, don't be silly. It's nowhere near as good. So yeah, you couldn't do it. The joys in the material and their performance.
You are missing one obvious one.
Go on. Emily Blunt for Zoot.
Yeah, obviously. Come on.
Oh, shit.
Okay, moving on to production. We've talked about the cast already, and this was obviously directed by two of them, Terry Gilliam and Terry Jones. I feel like Gilliam did the majority of the heavy lifting with it, but from what I've been reading, but he obviously turned into a proper film director subsequently as well with the other Python stuff, but then obviously going on to do Time Bandits, which I think has Michael Palin in, and Eric Idle, I think.
I've not seen it, but yeah.
Brazil.
Yeah, that's Palin as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Adventures of Baron Munchausen. I think that has some of them in as well.
Yeah,
The Fisher King. Oh, I want to see that. The Fisher King. I don't know why it caught my attention. It's got Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams in it. I've not seen it. I was just like, this sounds good. Like,
yeah,
I'd quite fancy watching that. 1991, I want to say. 12 Monkeys.
I mean, that's got to be
That's
his
need
most
to rewatch.
serious one, isn't it?
Need to rewatch as well. I've not seen it for a long time.
I really liked that one.
Yeah, I really liked it when I watched it, yeah. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yes.
You like that, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
The Brothers Grimm, which is, I think
Not
it's
seen
Heath
that,
Ledger
yeah.
and Matt Damon.
Right.
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, which was the one that was impacted by Heath Ledger's death halfway through filming. So they got loads of other
It's
actors.
quite the
to come and-
filmography, really, when you sort of lay them all down.
Yeah. And they did Zero Theorem with, what's his name? Spectre guy in Bond, in loads of things at that time.
Christopher Waltz.
Christopher, thank you. And then he also did The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, which we've talked about before on the pod briefly, because this was the one where he was originally trying to make it, and it got turned into a documentary, Lost in La Mancha, because it was just going horribly, horribly wrong, and then subsequently he ended up making it in the end, but much later. It was involved in one of our games from a long time ago. I think it was I can't remember what it was called, but it was the one relating to, is it in like still in development hell or purgatory or something? I can't remember why we were talking about this.
No,
yeah, anyway, it came up.
Yeah.
Terry Jones didn't really do much else apart from Monty Python stuff and some TV. But you didn't seem too bothered by any of the Gilliam stuff, because that was obviously a potential for a top three.
Not seen most of it. So Fear and Loathing, I've seen. I really like 12 Monkeys, but I've not seen You Brazils.
Yeah, Brazil's good.
The other weird ones.
Yeah. I quite fancy seeing Time Bandits and The Fisher
that.
King. Brothers Grimm, I don't even know if I have seen it. I may have seen it, but it didn't leave an impression if I did. I haven't seen The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, and I haven't seen Zero Theorem or Don Quixote. So, yeah. There we go. Written by all of them.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they did, because I was reading about like how they decided who was doing what parts and things. It was basically like whoever wrote certain bits, they basically did that. So if one character was in it for a lot that they'd written it, and then they decided that they would do that, which does kind of lead towards that. Like, yeah, they wrote a load of stuff, and then they kind of figured out how it would stitch together. And
I think there was always a bit of tension between them when they were writing because they had different approaches. I think this might be the one where they spent a bit of time. I think John Cleese had a villa in Barbados or something like that.
Nice.
And he was always like, if we're going to write, why don't we all go out here and write for a bit? And some of the others were more of the mind that we won't get much done if we do that. So I think they sort of went back and forth between that. There's a few tensions there, but I'm happy enough with how it turned out.
Yeah. Do you know what the budget was for this?
Yeah, I read about 300k. They cobbled together for a few bands.
Basically
Led Zeppelin
nothing.
Were one of the bands that were like...
Yeah, Genesis.
Genesis, I didn't know that.
And
I think Ringo Starr was in there as well,
Pink Floyd.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe Ringo Starr. Yeah. He had a bit
I don't
of
know
cash.
that for sure.
I didn't see that when I was
just
reading. But
got a memory of that somewhere from a documentary or something.
But 300k, you can kind of tell they didn't have any budget. Like, it's not
because of the coconuts.
That's a genius move. Yeah. Like, we can't afford horses, so hey, there we
He's
go.
banging two halves of coconuts together. So,
and the fact that they made such a huge thing of the coconuts bit, like it wasn't just that, and they left it. Like that was the whole first 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah. That was really late in production as well. They're like, we just can't get horses. What are we going to do? So we'll do this, and then they're writing it into bits and fantastic. There's a great bit later when they're going to the cave of Kaya Banog, and they're doing the clippity clop, and they go, they're startled. We'd better dismount and leave them here. So
They all get
off.
put the leg over, off they get.
Just fantastic.
But the callbacks to the whole swallows and the coconuts throughout, like, you know how I like repeating things only makes them funnier.
Yeah.
It's kind of a thing.
I think the coconut shells are one of cinema's great gags, and like you say, they've then worked that into an iconic joke about an African or European swallow. I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, a 300k budget. I mean, it's literally nothing.
Yeah.
And you can obviously tell that they've had to work around certain things. Like, I think even with the castles, it was just, as you say, at one point where he points out, that's just a model.
Yeah.
Which is his one line, wasn't it? It apparently wasn't much of a fun experience for them for basically doing in Scotland. And I think John Cleese had said it's basically like dry for 2 weeks in September once a year. That was basically...
Well, the chainmail was made of wool.
Was it?
So it said basically they get piss wet through, and then it'd be really, really heavy, and they're wearing it all day, and it's
heavier than
uncomfortable.
actual chainmail.
Yeah. I want to talk about the credits right at the start.
Yeah.
Because I think this underpins something that is so good about Python and Python humour. First of all, why Scandinavian?
Why not?
Because it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's why.
Because it looks good with moose.
Yeah. And it's, it's sort of abstract. You get the non sequitur of the llamas. Why llamas? Why is it changed to llamas? There's so many...
It's very much setting the tone, right?
Yeah.
In terms of, like, anyone going in there going, this is absurd. You're like, yep.
Yeah. There's so many sight jokes in those credits, if you read them.
But you need multiple watches, I think, as well, because they're within the credits themselves, right?
Yeah. There's so many sight jokes. So you can come at it from that angle. Like I say, you've got the sort of the non sequitur, the absurdity of, well, why is it Scandinavian? And then why does it suddenly change to llamas? The absurd, like, you've got that. And then you've also just got the way they've actually constructed the thing, which is to go, this narrative over the top of, oh, the credits have gone wrong, the producer, they've been sacked.
Yeah.
You could leave that there, but they don't. They go, the people responsible for the sacking of themselves being sacked.
And then they go one further.
And they go, we're now, and you get this complete departure for Yamas. So I love it because you've got, and you're not going to get it all in one, and it doesn't matter because you've just got multiple angles that they come at. Yes, it's absurd, but they're not just throwing shit at a screen. They're thinking about how to put it together. They keep working the joke from multiple angles. I think I made this point I really enjoyed this about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, about it wasn't just slapstick. They would then follow that up with another sort of, they keep milking that joke, another angle on it, or what have you. Just really, really good. And you can see that throughout the film, and you can come at it from whichever angle you sort of find most pleasing. And to what you've just said, you need to watch this more than once, and you will keep seeing little jokes, little callbacks.
Perhaps more than any comedy film. This one is the one where it's just like, oh Christ, I need to watch it about 3 times just to be able to even like get everything.
Yeah.
It definitely rewards repeat viewings, and I think it's one of those that will get funnier the more you've seen it. And I think it's kind of coming back to my initial sort of opinion of this. Like, I've seen this once before.
Right.
I watched it, I can't remember, not that long ago, within the last sort of 5-10 years, for the first time. Didn't see it like growing up. Monty Python wasn't like a big thing in like the house or anything. I didn't see it as in my teens or 20s or anything like that. Emma, on the other hand, she sort of quotes. She's frequently shouting "Shrubbery" at me.
Yeah, my missus likes this one in particular as well.
Yeah,
a lot.
So it is that thing where it's like, that's why I said at the beginning. Like, I think talking about it, it's going to make me probably like it more, because as you're going through and writing the notes and stuff, you're just like, no, that's a good bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was quite clever. Oh, yeah, that's good. You're like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And then, like you've already alluded to this scene, we do the credits and we go straight into the coconut shells and the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow.
Yes.
And we introduce the other element of Python comedy, which is really good about this. Really good about their approach. It's smart as well. Like, the exchanges are smart, they're witty, and they're usually...
But not all the time.
No, not all the time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but...
Like, it's thrown in...
Yeah, but it's there, and that in itself, of course, is a joke, because when they say, look, to maintain the airspeed velocity, the European swallow must flap its wings 43 times a minute. Right?
Probably accurate.
It's probably accurate. So we did the pivot into the Always Look at the Bright Side of Life song. Remember that you stand on another planet that's revolving around 100 miles, 1,000 miles, whatever the words are. We did that song in physics when I was in secondary school, just for a laugh one afternoon, and picked apart all the claims it makes.
Yeah.
And they were pretty much, like ballpark,
Yeah.
they were pretty much accurate. So someone sat down and gone, no, it's got to be right enough.
Yeah. I mean, they all met at Oxford, right? So it's not like they're a bunch of dimwits.
So and we've touched on the well, I didn't vote for you.
Yeah.
It's like, peasant, huh? Did you hear him call me a peasant? Help! I'm being repressed. All of the sort of social commentary. It's just, there's some really smart dialogue. They're willing to go off on these sort of tangents to have these exchanges, and you can find some fun in the fact that they're actually being accurate and they're making a serious point here in an absurd setting, which is why it's funny. Fantastically constructed humour, which I feel like you can miss about Python, because you can go, it's just silly. It is not just silly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, because I think that's kind of how I left after first viewing a little bit. I was just like, oh look, I did chuckle, but like I don't get the huge deal with it, right? It's just kind of like, it's silliness. It's like, oh yeah. Like, my socks stayed on. They were not laughed off. They were
without the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Your socks stay on.
But yeah, and I think it's one of those. It's like, even like intellectually taking it apart and analysing it, you could probably almost find that funnier by doing it that way as well, which shouldn't happen for a comedy. Like, if you try and understand and explain comedy, it should make it less funny, but it might actually be the opposite way here when you.
It's just a different approach to it, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, it's and they're managing to skillfully combine the two elements that you've got, that funny through repetition or almost abstractness, because what's a serious point doing in amongst this silly, and also the sight jokes, the farce of it. I mean, it is still a farce. It is still silly, and some of that is very funny. Yeah. Some of the violence is brilliant.
Well, to be fair, like
it's ridiculous. It's ludicrous.
Yeah, getting back to how it looks, like the practical effects of it, like it's all done for laughs.
Yeah,
but some of it's actually quite impressively done, like the way they do it. And you know, the prime example being the Black Knight versus where it's just like, you know, goes from one arm to one leg, and then no legs and stuff, and you can tell
I've
exactly
had worse. You liar.
And you can tell how they've done it and stuff. And I think they were saying like they got a one-legged man to film one part of it. When he had the leg cut off,
then swapped him out for a different paraplegic.
It's cheaper.
Oh dear!
I don't even know if that's true, or if they're just saying it because it's funny.
Like,
I have no idea, but it's a funny thing.
It's very good.
I mean, clearly like buried them for the thing, right? It's like it's totally
Apocalypse Now style on that. That was what I thought on that. I was like, they buried him there. I mean, I think that Black Knight scene. We're in the production section. I think that's a really well put together scene because they're going through the forest and they use this a couple of times, but they do this cutting back and forth thing really well. So they are going through the forest with the
and then something else happens.
By the way, production, what a great piece of music that is for this.
It's one thing I was pointed out with the music, right?
For this film.
Yeah, the music is actually really good.
Because it's real enough, but also still kind of overblown enough for you to be like, oh yeah. So they're doing that, and then it cuts to his fight with the Green Knight, and then it'll cut back, and then cut back again. They call back they use that again later when Lancelot is running towards Swamp Castle,
killing everything.
Yeah, and he's getting no closer, but it keeps cutting back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And it's got like the music in the background with the drums, like him running, and then cut back to the guards going, chewing on an apple, like, and then just loud oppressive bit, right? And then all of a sudden it's like there's just bang, and stabs him. It's like, oh. So Black Knight, they're framing it, they're introducing it by this cutting back and forth. The music's there, it's doing a lot of the lifting. It's very funny. Then he appears in front of him. They witness this fight, which is great. The way he finishes that fight off, which is just to launch his sword through the air, and it goes straight through the helmet, and the blood just pours out. It's just fantastic.
That's a genuinely pretty good effect, that one.
And it's like, it's almost unexpected because they've been sort of like, oh, no one can quite get the upper hand, and they keep missing each other. And he's just like, no, you are unequivocally finished here.
Yeah.
It's like...
But I thought the stunts side of it, there was some actual bits like that was the two of the pythons like in the.
Oh, it was actually
like, they were actually doing it. They didn't go down a stunt route because they were having so much fun doing it.
Oh, just fun. No, fair play.
So they actually had to learn how to handle the large sword. But there's a couple of other bits as well where there is a little bit of sort of stunt in there, and it's just like, oh, you know, they've done something here.
Yeah. It looks really good, that bit. And then, as you say, you go on to the fact that he's cutting his arms and legs off, and that looks really good. And
yeah, but also done ridiculously, because obviously it's just like the arm comes off and blood spurts out. That you're just like, well, we're not going for realism here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But when their arm came off, my eldest went, well, that's not real. Like, is it not? No.
No. Unlike all those other films where they really cut people's arms off.
Yeah.
One thing not a big fan of.
Go on.
The animations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know. I know it's their style, and they've done it all through like their TV stuff and everything. It's kind of like Gilliam's thing, right? Yeah. But I don't know. I didn't love it.
No, I'm the same. Let's talk some more about that in plot. I think I've got a case to say, but it doesn't really matter. But I do agree with you. It's not really my thing either.
So I said at the beginning, and you kind of said we'd come back to it. About, is it a proper film? Is it just a series of sketches?
Plot.
How is that plot? It's literally production, how it's produced.
No, behave yourself. I'll tell you why it's plot when we get there.
All right, back to the sound then, the music and stuff. So I thought it was actually pretty good. Like you've already kind of said, like there's a mixture of like generic medieval like looty music and stuff, and then like the over dramatic, like, is it that you did a good impression of it?
Thank you.
But one thing I want to ask you, Carl, is this a musical?
No, not cut that out. Not while I'm here.
Like, how many songs would there need to be for it to count as a musical? Because there's so few.
Do you know when Camelot came on?
Oh yeah,
We're knights of the round table, we dance whenever we're able, right? And they did all that, and I was like, I'll explain more when I get onto the plot. But then they finished that. I was a bit like, ugh. But then they finished like, on second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It is a silly place. I was like, yes, you've just absolutely nailing the musical there.
Yeah, it does capture your view on musicals fairly well at multiple times throughout this.
Yeah. What have we got? 2-3 songs, is it?
Yeah, at least 3, I think. Because there's the Camelot.
Mm.
It's kind of like the looty, like minstrels that are kind of singing a bit in the background. There's another one. I'm sure there's another one. I can't think what it is.
Is this when the prince is about to tell us? He's going to tell us. But yeah, Lancelot escapes. Yeah. Well, I've got 2.
What else you got?
I've got 2 more production notes. The first, hour 29. I think it's a bit less by the time you take the credits out. Great length for this sort of film.
Yeah, and the 2 minutes at the end, it's just black,
just nothing. Yeah,
which is really weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know why that is. If that's supposed to show the fact that they have genuinely been cut off.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was another. Born out of necessity thing, the ending.
Yes.
It's like, how are we going to end this? We can't afford it. Well, let's just do this. Yeah, let's just do this. Which I don't mind. I think that is fairly in keeping with the tone of the rest of it. And then the scene that my not to get too much into plot on this.
You're gonna talk all over it, and we're gonna repeat it later.
Yeah, maybe. But the scene that my eldest enjoyed most. But just another wonderful demonstration of how well crafted this comedy is that how can we tell if she's made out of wood? Build a bridge out of her. And he doesn't acknowledge that that's stupid, because that would be we can take the joke as being build a bridge out of a. Oh, that's silly. He doesn't. He goes, but can you not also build a bridge out of stone? It's like let's just try put some logic about this, which is of course even more absurd than the suggestion.
Yeah.
Let's build a bridge out of it. And I feel like that stuff. It's like we can analyze stuff. You can analyze stuff, and we do it on this pod. And especially something like comedy, when you're trying to dig into, well, why is that funny? To talk about it is like the most nerdy, boring conversation in the world. I think the point with it is just because you can articulate that something's going on, and this goes for any film appraisal or discussion, it doesn't mean it's not going on. So even if you just go, oh, well, I just like it. I don't want to think about all of that. I don't want to think about what's going on. It's like, no, you are. You just don't realise it. That's why it resonates with you.
It's subconscious.
That's why it hits. So, not to sound like a bore when we pick it apart, but I do think this is such a key part of why this movie is so funny, is because they've really crafted this comedy and they are coming at it from multiple angles. It's brilliant.
One last did you know, Carl?
Oh, go on.
So you stole my other did you know of
the
Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd and Genesis all contributed to the budget. In the Japanese release, Holy Grail is translated as Holy Sake Cup.
Yeah. I assume just purely on looks alone.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, it's not important that they know what the biblical story they're going after is, though.
It's literally irrelevant.
Yeah,
the whole thing. Yeah. Like, the Grail doesn't. It barely gets mentioned, and it doesn't lead anywhere.
But still, that's a hell of a.
Yeah.
So that means they think Tim the Enchanter are going. Could you find us a? He's going a Grail. I think he's saying a sake cup. Yes. Yeah. That would. Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
You ready for a game, Carl?
I'd love a game.
Okay. Well. This game is called It's a Sir. Okay. Now, in line with Sir Robin, the not quite so brave as Sir Lancelot, I'm going to give you knight descriptors of some famous movie knights. That is to say, actors who have been knighted.
Okay.
And in line with previous week, I've now set a precedent I've got a little theme song for the game, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's a sir. It's a sir.
There you go.
Those two words don't sound the same. I know they're only a letter apart, but those two words don't sound the same.
Sin, sir. It's the connection here is that it's a sir.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Very
That's what I
good.
meant.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, so here we go. You ready? Sir M. Oh, by the way, I'm going to go with the first letter of their name just to give you a little bit of a clue. Okay.
Okay.
So Sir M,
Michael Caine.
the leader of Muppets and vanquisher of a rubber shark.
Michael Caine.
Well done. Sir K, the twirler of extravagant moustache and Russian gangster
Kenneth Branagh.
antagonist.
Kenneth Branagh.
Sir B, the portrayer of Gandhi, impersonator of mandarins.
Him. Ben Kingsley.
Yep. Sir R, the irresponsible park owner and looky-likey of Santa.
Yeah. Richard Attenborough.
Yes. Sir D, the method of most methody actors of methods.
Oh, is he a sir as well, is he? Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yep. Sir A, the giver of Cerveza Cristal.
Yeah. Alec Guinness.
Yes.
But you see, when I think of Alec Guinness, I think Armand Hinavana, and I'm always going, did you want a vacuum cleaner? Which doesn't make sense unless you've seen it.
Okay, next one. Sir A, the Odin and eater of fava beans and a drinker of Chianti.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins.
Yep. Sir I, the magnetic and most glorious of grey and white wizards.
Ian McKellen.
Well done. I thought you might struggle with that one because they are films you do not like, but you are aware of them, so that's good. Sir R, the not quite so good as all the other Bonds.
Roger Moore.
And finally, Sir S.
What was the thing we kept doing for Roger Moore?
What's what?
No, I don't think I will be doing that.
Yes.
That's probably what he said. You need to bow down. No, I don't think I will be doing that.
And finally, Sir S, the digger of bones and hunter of red Octobers.
Oh, Sean Connery.
No.
Eh? Sam Neill?
Yes. Sam
Oh, yeah,
Neill
Digger
is
of
the Sir.
Bones. Yeah, Digger of Bones.
Yeah.
fair enough, yeah.
Oh, you almost got.
I mean, he's not
100%.
hunting Red October.
Yeah, well, he was in it.
Yeah, he's Shawnee's second in command, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, Sean Connery wasn't hunting either.
Well, he sort of was. He was handing it over. All right, look. We've all had little missteps.
Well, there you go. That was. Oh no, I haven't got the thing. Hold on. That was
Yeah, I love this smooth, yeah.
smooth. I forgot that I should play it. Oh, here we go.
It's a sir. It's a sir.
There you go.
I like how you're saying it's sir, but then you're saying it's a.
It's
It's oh, that's how you say sir, isn't it? Yeah, that's the difference between us, right? Okay.
What do you say?
Well, sir, you're saying like sir.
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 I don't know. Yeah. Good. Right. Take that. Enjoyed that. I tell you what, my microphone was bad enough. My microphone practice, technique, whatever you want to call it, was bad enough before you introduced these fucking nuts.
I know. I'm so glad we've got the nuts.
They're very tasty.
It is, but unfortunately, dear listeners, will just be going. What's that noise?
Yeah.
Are we recording, by the way?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great. All right, let's move on to the plot then. You confused me by speaking first. It's not your job.
No, I know.
Know your fucking role.
Yeah.
You know, going back to the nuts, every time I go back home after recording one of these episodes, I get home and I have to eat something because I basically had,
Because you've had 3 or 4
beers.
cans.
Yeah, I had a few beers, and I'm just like, oh god, I can't get to bed now. I feel peckish. I need to eat something. So yeah, this is. I'm not going to say it's going to stop me, but it might deter me slightly. But anyway,
Keep the wolf at the door.
Yeah. So Carl, what's this about?
Okay, let's talk about plot. So, I've got some sort of general notes we can dig into, but there's a structure to the plot here. I think it feeds into an observation I don't think I've made on the pod, but I'm going to talk about a different comedy film. And also it links to something you said in your intro. I don't know if you remember when I said I watched the Morecambe and Wise films.
Yes.
So Riviera Touch is my favourite. Now, Morecambe and Wise literally did a sketch show. That was one of the things that they started out with.
Yeah.
When they do their sort of variety shows, they are ostensibly little skits.
Yeah.
And they move from
Joined together,
one bit to the other, you know. One of the criticisms of that, excuse me, fucking these nuts are spicy.
Fiery nuts.
One of the criticisms of that film, when you sort of read the reviews, of people going, you know, we're not getting enough Morecambe and Wise here because they're getting bogged down in trying to pay service to the plot and move the plot along and all the rest of it. Now, my observation with that is, that's fine. That's what a comedy film looks like. Because you can't just do a sketch show.
Yeah.
Because a sketch show is a sketch show. You have got a story.
You've got your beats.
You've got a plot.
You have to heat them.
You've got to move it through. There has to be a compromise between the two. And you hope that they do a good job enough on both of them that you enjoy it. But it's unlikely to be as laugh out loud funny as them in their, you know, normal mode of working, where they are serving the comedy first.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. You're serving the comedy first in your show, and the same goes for the Pythons when they're doing the flying circus and all the rest of it. When you do a film, that requires something different.
It's just like, right, you know, when you go see a band who's got a big back catalogue and they're just like, just play the hits. You're just like, no, you've got to stitch these together so that it becomes a coherent piece.
Yeah, well, it depends if you're doing festival or touring an album as well. But yeah. So, you've already made the observation. They have just kind of stitched sketches together here, which is not what I would say you should do to make a good comedy film. And if you look at their other films, have you seen The Meaning of Life?
No, I've seen Life of Brian, but
So Meaning of Life is very much down this mode, which is sketches stitched together. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as well. Life of Brian is much more focused on the central narrative and plot. They've put much more effort and focus onto moving Brian as a character through a plot. So that's a different approach to this one. Why I would say this one still works, even though they've gone down that thing of just stitching sketches together, is actually pretty simple. And I've written them down, and we can talk about them one by one and see if you agree. I think they're all top tier. And I think that's why they get away with it. So why they don't get away with it in Meaning of Life,
the quality is
because
just not there.
Yeah, the quality is so good here that, yes, it is just a series of sketches thinly held together by Graham Chapman's King Arthur as he sort of moves through on a ultimately futile and irrelevant quest for the Grail. It doesn't matter because they're all top tier. So the credits straight out of the thing are a laugh. That's a joke. We move straight on to what I'll call the first sketch proper, Coconuts.
Yeah, Swallows and
The
Coconuts.
Castle, Swallows and Coconuts. It's fantastic.
Swallows
it's iconic.
Swallows and Coconuts might be a new name for a band.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
you've suggested a band name before on here as well.
Swallows and Coconuts. Like it.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that it's iconic. Well, I mean, it's one of the first lines that King Arthur gets in riposte, which is, "Are you suggesting coconuts, Margaret?" And he goes through a load of animals and goes, "These are not strangers to our shores." Yeah. Well, an African swallow may be, but then, of course, African swallows are non-migratory. It's a top level sketch. We move on after to Eric Idle's "Bring Out Your Dead,"
Yeah.
which is I love that him and Cleese are just like deadpan sort of like market trader playing off.
Which again is somewhat unrelated, right? It's,
Yeah, it's
it's
completely.
complete side.
It's sort of in it. It's like, it's Middle Ages. It's, yeah.
But then they bring in the king to sort of link it together, right? Towards the end of that scene.
Must be a king. Why?
Yes. It's a good
He hasn't
point.
got shit on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know you like the coconuts and castle bit. How are you on the Bring Out Your Dead?
Yeah,
thing?
like
Enjoy that one.
Yeah.
So we move on after that one to one that you said you've already
Dennis.
liked, which is the peasants, the repressed.
Yeah, very good.
Dennis. Yeah.
Very good. That, I mean, as I said before, it's where it turns from like just silliness to
Yeah.
proper like intelligent humor. And again, it's one of those like it's quite they're quite fast. They're spitting out all these lines again after another. It's one of those again where you can listen to that back
Yeah, it's fantastic.
again and again. You'd be like, oh.
What I object to is you automatically treat me like I'm an inferior. Well, I am king. Oh, king, eh? Very nice. How'd you get that, eh? By exploiting the workers, by hanging on to an outdated imperialist dogma which perpetuates the economic and social differences in our society. No, it's brilliant. So that's a great sketch. The one after that, I think you're pretty happy with this one as well. Black Knight.
I mean, it's literally the classic scene
Yeah.
out of this, though, isn't it? Like, if you were to say what is the one,
Yeah.
it's that has penetrated
Yeah.
beyond. Like, you'll see people say like, "'Tis but a scratch. That's just a flesh wound."
Yeah.
You know, all of those things come out.
I've had worse.
Yeah.
You liar. I'll have your legs.
Yeah, I'll bite your legs off.
Look, you stupid bastard. You've got no arms left. Call it a draw.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Bleed on me?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
I'll beat you in the groin. We move on after that to
The Witch.
Burn the Witch.
Yep.
Again, absolutely iconic.
Again, though, this is like thinly held together by the fact that there is a knight.
Yeah,
Doing
he's
it,
just
right?
there. Yeah.
He's the one that's there. Why is he there?
Who are you, sir?
Why
With
is he?
your
Why is
wise
he?
ways
Why-
of science?
Why is he there?
A duck.
But that again, it's like a thin thread that holds it together. But you can tell they've just gone like, I've got a scene.
Yeah.
I've got a little skit about trying to burn a witch.
But it's
Okay,
top.
cool.
It's top tier again. You know, we're bordering on iconic for these. The next one we get to Camelot, and this was the first one I was ready to go. I could do without this, and then it completely rug pulls you. On second thoughts, let's not go to Camelot. It
And
is a
also,
silly place.
Like yeah. Actually, the songs and the rhymes of there again, it's very clever.
Yeah,
Like because the rhyming doesn't make any sense, but they turn words that shouldn't rhyme into like longer breakdown of words that do. So that was like, again, it's like clever. It's cleverly written.
yeah,
You can't just throw that out. That has taken some time to pull together.
yeah. So I mean, again, we're absolute top tier. So at this point, I don't think we're going, well, this plot's going nowhere. Like, when are they going to get to the Grail? You're just going hit after hit after hit after hit. The next one, the French encounter, stupid English pig dogs, which has completely penetrated my lexicon. English pig dogs. It's like, now go away, or I shall taunt you a second time. My favourite line out of all of that, though, was, Fetchy lavish. And then look at it, Fetchy lavish?
Yes, and then there's a cow.
Fetch the cow. Bring the
The cow just comes flying over.
Jesus Christ! Run away! But that whole scene's fantastic. There's the whole taunt in. There's loads of brilliant back and forth with we're looking for a grail. It's like, well, can you ask your masters? I can ask him, but I don't think he'll be too keen. He's already got one. So it turns out, I told them we've already got one. They do that. You've got the Trojan rabbit bit, which is ridiculous. It's like, and who leaps out? Lancelot, the Galahad, nigh.
Exactly what you said, though, because Theo was doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just going like,
They're not inside.
They're not-
You know?
this is gonna work.
Yeah. We could build a giant wooden bedroom, and then just smacks him around the back of the head. Fantastic. And there's some great bits when they're charging the castle, and obviously they're getting like dumped on with all the various animals. I don't know if you spotted in the background. They're charging the castle. A couple of them are literally just smashing their swords on the side of the castle, as if you could fight a
Attacking the
castle.
castle.
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
because they don't have any siege weaponry on them. So, but it doesn't matter because it's ridiculous. So yeah, we've got that French encounter, the Trojan rabbit, fantastic. We get the first fourth wall break, which doesn't last long, but the famous historian.
Yes.
Now, when that came on, my eldest immediately went, "The knights are going to come through and kill him." And then they did. She was like, "Told you," and she pissed herself laughing. She loved it. And really all that's doing is a setup for bringing in the ending and all the rest of it. But it's a classic non sequitur. It's fantastic, and it doesn't last long.
I weirdly could have done without it though. Like I get it. There's still
Maybe we'll talk about that in changes then. Yeah. We move on to Brave Sir Robin.
Yes.
And then they come Three-Headed Knight. Bravely ran away when danger reared its ugly head. Brave Sir Robin turned and fled. Brave
I don't
Sir
think
Robin.
the Three-Headed Knight scene itself was great. I think that's not like one of the classic and strength ones, but then like
it's the song.
Bravely ran away. The song
that's it.
What makes it.
The serve in the song. Yeah. Now we get to then the first one that I would say is one of the weaker ones, which is Sir Galahad and Castle Anthrax.
Yeah.
But they even sort of know that and make a joke out of it because they break the fourth wall again. They turn to camera. The director thinks that should have been cut.
Yeah.
But I think it's gonna. We get Zoot with a rare swear word. I think there's only 3 or 4 in the thing. Oh shit! All between 16 and 19 and a half, of course. Crucial.
Yes.
Crucial thing. Scene 24's after that. Which I think is wonderfully acted, the narrator says. And that's Tim the Enchanter, teasing of Tim the Enchanter and the Knights Who Say Knee. Again, Knights Who Say Knee.
It's penetrated.
Absolutely iconic.
Yeah.
It's real top-tier stuff. I presume you've not got a problem with the Knights Who Say Knee.
No, Knights Who Say
You're on
Knee
board
is
with
all
the
good.
Knights Who Say
Yep,
Knee.
like that. Like a shrubbery.
Yeah. We move on then to Lancelot and the Swamp Castle. Mm-hmm. One day, lad, this'll all be yours. Oh, the curtains. No, not that. And we get the brilliant. He's not to leave the room until I come and get him.
That is that'll make an appearance later for sure, because that was genuinely the bit where I was laughing over a course of minutes.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is bang on. It was so good.
Yeah. What? Right, so we're not to leave the room until you come again. No. He's not to leave the room until I come again. Okay? Right. So he's not to leave the room until you or anyone else comes again. No, not anyone else, just me. Right. Oh, yeah, I know that. Okay, are we clear? They go, where are you coming? We're coming with you. No. I fucking love that scene. Absolutely brilliant.
But it also has in there's like, not in that bit, but in that bit with Lancelot is the two callbacks are like, oh, he's dead. I'm not dead.
Yeah. He was mortally wounded.
I'm feeling better.
Yeah, gives him a little nod. He's dead now. Yeah, it's fantastic. And you get another fairly iconic, like, let's not bicker and argue about who killed who. No, so I mean, the Lancelot, the Swamp Castle, even the Swamp Castle bit, they said nothing would stand up on this swamp, but I built it just to show them. It sank into the swamp. So I built it again, and that sank into the swamp. But I built it a third time, and that set on fire, fell over, and then fell into the swamp. But the fourth time. Oh, super. We move on to Roger the Shrubber and the Knights Who Say Knee 2, a sort of reprise. The laugh, find the tallest tree in the forest and cut it down with a heading.
Which is the one of the most absurd parts, right?
That's crazy.
Becoming...
Again, iconic stuff. Then we move on to Tim the Enchanter. I am an enchanter. Who leaves them to the beast of Caer Banog.
So I thought this is where, like, the Tim the Enchanter bit, I thought, like, it's where it started to lose its momentum a little bit. Started to lose its way a little bit. It's not that it's not fine. It's just, it's not up the, it's not.
Oh, you see, we differ there because I think, too late. I was like, where? Behind the, there's the rabbit. What? You got us all worked up. That's no ordinary rabbit. It's got a vicious streak a mile wide. That's a killer. And then the fucking ridiculousness. Go on, Bo, smash its head in. And it just goes through him completely and rips his head off. And then when they charge it and it's zooming in between them, there's a bit, and I think it's Galahad and Palin, It's sort of on his shield, and it's over him, and you can see it's like a hand puppet. But it's got all this blood in his mouth. But the way they've shot it, it's pushing him backwards. It's like, it's like oh. Oh, it's fantastic.
And they obviously used a real rabbit for certain parts of it.
Oh, yeah, for the first bit. Yeah.
But they obviously had to get blood all over it. So they dyed the dye that they used, and it wasn't
white again for some time.
Temporary. Yeah. Yeah, the owner of the rabbit wasn't very pleased.
Yeah.
So they basically had a red rabbit.
Yeah, what's my rabbit too? And then we move on to the bridge keeper.
We got the holy hand grenade, right?
Oh, the holy hand grenade, yeah, to get rid of it, yeah.
Again, it's like...
Yeah.
So that was the part where I was just like...
and I'm sort of with you on that. Watching it, I'm sure that's probably true. I'm probably not enjoying the holy hand grenade as much. But when I sit here and I think about this scene, I just think about Tim the Enchanter and the fucking vicious killer and the rabbit going around lopping people's heads off. It's brilliant. And then we ostensibly finish off with the troll, the bridge keeper, because after that we're into the final set piece where they charge and they get arrested and all the rest of it. And that bit is fantastic. You've got callbacks in it. It's ludicrous. It's a rug pull because he goes, "What is your name?" I was like, "What is your favourite colour?" Or was it quest first? What's your
quest? Yeah,
oh, that's easy. And then you get to, "What is the capital of Abyssinia?" What? I don't know. And then I come back to how well they craft these jokes, because the next one, what is your name? What's your quest? What is your favourite colour? We're back to the first one. Blue. No, yellow. Fantastic.
And that's Palin, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing that. I think he does that. He does that particularly so well because he's just like...
This sort of daft stuff. Blue. No, yellow. And then...
it comes all the way back.
It comes all the way back, yeah. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? African or European swallow?
No.
And then he gets pinged off. It's fantastic. Callbacks, ridiculous, constructed joke, superb. And then we're into the end scene. So, yeah, look, we can talk about any of these bits you want, but I look at the plot and I go, yes, there's no plot. This is just a string of sketches stitched together. And I take your point about, I don't love the animation either, because they're only there to do just that, to stitch those bits together. Yeah. But it sort of doesn't matter, because... we keep going on from top-tier sketch, iconic sketch to iconic sketch, and it just works. And because it's only an hour and a half, we just go, this is just like laugh-a-minute stuff. It's fantastic. So I think you sort of agree on most of those sketches. Though.
No, as I said at the start, right, it's one of those where you come through and you start listing things out and you go, well, that was good. Well, that was good as well. Yeah. Well, that was good as well. Yeah, I like that. I didn't like that one as much. I like that, though. That was good. That one's probably one of the weaker ones. But, I mean, you list off... Christ knows how many we listed off there. At least like 10 to 12 different scenes, really, that they've done. Sort of different sketches that they have stitched together. And there's really only 2 or 3 that are not quite up to the
17
absolute standard.
I listed 17.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about that and you're going 2 or 3...
yeah.
And out for me, it's 1 or 2. If you're going, that's 14 scenes. Yeah. Absolutely top tier, bordering on iconic in a movie. That's a hell of a hit rate.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a hit rate.
And I think the only thing that I have a more major problem with is just the ending. And I understand, like, the ending is somewhat caused by the realities of the shoot, and that they didn't have budget to do anything in terms of like a big battle or whatever they wanted to do. But I don't know.
It's also,
I know
what would you have done?
Exactly, yeah. They're kind of leaning into it as well, where it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it's like...
it's also, what would you have done? I mean, the answer is they'd have just done another equally silly sketch that doesn't really serve the story, but maybe it would have been funnier.
Yeah.
And that's fine, that's an area for improvement. But the main plot line is so secondary, you sort of get to the point when you go, well, there's no point doing anything in that sort of vein. We just need something to finish it. So.
Yeah, and I guess that's my point in terms of that. Like, you're not judging this in terms of it being a film and a movie in that terms, because it's a different beast, right?
Yeah,
it's not a. Well, does the story and the plot make sense? And is there character development or anything like that? No, of course not. It is a series of sketches that's held together. it all comes down to, for the hour and a half runtime,
Yeah.
does it hold together and is it funny enough?
Of which the answer, I don't want to jump the gun, but it's of course a resounding yes. Right, have you got anything on, you got anything else on plot?
No, that's all I've got.
All right.
All right, any changes? So a section where we each come up with up to 3 changes in total. Carl, how many changes do you have today?
I've got one.
Oh, good lad. I've got 3. Well, 2.5 really. So my first one is, we've already talked about it. I couldn't tell you how you would do it, but that's a slightly more satisfying, better ending. I know it was budget induced, and I know it's kind of leans into the silliness thing, but the other thing that I think it misses because of that, because it's kind of like, oh, it's cut off, just as you had in the beginning credits, like the silliness. Perfect opportunity for a little bit of end credit silliness as well, which they miss out on.
That's true.
And it does end on like, oh, and that's it. And there's just like 2 minutes of music, and then that's it on a black screen.
That's true.
And he's like, oh, I feel like you could have got a bit more out of it from that.
Yeah, fair enough.
The other thing, my half is more songs, so you'd like it less.
No, cut that out.
What was your one?
Like I say, because of the way I list the plot out as essentially this
Yeah.
procession of sketches, I don't mind the ending, although you're right, there could have been more laughs there. I don't mind the bits that are stitching it together, the animation. You're right, they're not my favourite bits either, but they're just serving a purpose. So the only thing I'm left with is, for me, the Castle Anthrax sketch is the weakest one. And they make the joke about it. We should have cut this out. And I think that's fine, but then just cut it down.
Yeah.
Because it's a few minutes. That.
Yeah.
So if you're going to keep that, I would just cut that one down a little bit, I think.
Fair enough. So mine's on the animation, which I get. We've talked about why they've got it. I don't really like it. God is the one exception where it makes sense to do that in that way, and also quite funny.
Sorry.
Also quite funny that it's English cricketer W.G. Grace that is God.
Yeah.
Very British.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the other parts I could do without. The God part, that's fine. Wow, I've not said that before. All right, so let's move on to the data section. So first of all, some ratings for you. IMDb 8.2. Very, very high. Surprisingly, though, it's only number 158 in the top 250. And considering how well loved this is, I know it's probably quite congested in the old 50 to 150 kind of range and stuff. But yeah, I would kind of expected this to have cracked the top 100. So a bit surprising. I've got a feeling it might have been at one point, because I'm not sure why I would have watched it in the last 10 years if it wasn't for the purposes of watching the IMDb Top 100. But maybe Emma just wanted me to watch it because she liked it.
She's got taste.
Yeah. Letterboxd 4.1, so a rare exact same score, Letterboxd and IMDb. And again, 4.1, pretty much
It's pretty rare.
close to getting the as high as you kind of get. Metascore 91. Critics love it as well. So we've gone on a bit of a run here, Carl. We've seen the journey that we go on in our episodes. So we had Chinatown, classic kind of thing. Then we had Escape Plan, not classic. Then we had Jaws: The Revenge, very much not classic. Then American Beauty, highly rated and things. And then we're on to Monty Python. So the scores between Monty Python and American Beauty are a lot closer, but Monty Python higher. Best scene, Carl. What do you have? Oh, nomination. Sorry, there weren't any because it's not a real film.
yeah.
Well, best scene though.
But it's funny, isn't it? If a film like this was made today, it would sweep up in terms of, because you occasionally get like a comedy.
100% would not be made today. That's the thing, isn't it? Like chance anything like this would even work.
You're right. It's a silly statement in many ways, but it does sort of show how comedy's fallen by the wayside now, and how formulaic comedy is these days. Actually, I can't think.
There's just less of them.
Well, yeah, because it's never just a comedy film, is it? It's like a rom-com.
Who's like a current comedy actor in
Sandler.
films. Exactly, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, Sandler.
Because he was what the answer would have been in the 90s.
Yeah, and even he's not doing full-on comedy films. He's doing
Netflix
like your Netflix, but they're like murder mystery with comedic elements. You know, they're just not doing them.
No, but there isn't like a comedy.
Jim Carrey moved away from them in the 90s to do the more sort of. Well, he did serious stuff, but even when he was doing the funny ones, there were your Grinches and your sort of your Lemony Snickets.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
different sort of genres rolling in. So, yeah. Right, best scene.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was going to say you might struggle with this one. I've already said that I've got a clear outlier. So I could have gone down the Black Knight route, right? 'Tis but a scratch, etc., etc. Like that. I think that does epitomise like if you wanted to pick a scene that summed up the film that everyone would be familiar with, that is the one I think that has penetrated the most.
More than Knights of Zenny?
I think just about, yeah.
We are no longer the Knights who say ni. We are now the Knights who say no.
Indeed. But my standout favourite is the guards stay here and make sure he doesn't leave, which I just enjoyed throughout, and it went on for so long that it was brilliant. I really, really, really enjoyed it.
Oh my word. Oh no, that's just fucking thrown me. Because I thought I had a favourite before that, but now you've just said that one. No. Not anyone else, just me. Just you.
Yeah, just...
Get back. All right. Right, we'll stay until you get back. And make sure he doesn't leave. What? Make sure he doesn't leave. The prince. Yes, make sure he doesn't leave, of course. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Is it that
What are you
one?
between? What are you between? Go on.
It's between.
Quick rundown.
That one, Dennis, the repressed citizen.
Dennis is good. Yeah.
I think the repressed citizen is absolutely fantastic. I do like the Black Knight.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I really like the
Castle Anthrax.
No, not Castle Anthrax. I really like the Killer Rabbit as a piece of visual comedy. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Honestly, the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow, African or European swallow, both of those jokes, whether it's the bridge keeper or whether it's well, they could sort of truss it together and like two together.
That again goes on for so long that it's great.
Well, so the thing is, right? They didn't even need the second night.
No,
they could have just kept going back and forth, going.
Bring in
You
someone else.
suggested coconuts migrate, but then to bring in another night for them to then have a sidebar, just masterful. I love those. I think the witch is burning is fantastic. What also weighs the same? It's a witch, a duck.
I even like at the end of that, right, where they get him on the scales and do it, and then she just goes, fair cop.
It's a fair cop.
Fair cop, that.
Yeah. I said that the eldest go. So she wasn't a witch. She's like, yeah, yeah. So as ridiculous as it was, yeah, she was a witch. Yeah. Listen, I think I would have to go for. It's really close. I think the guards. No. He doesn't leave the room. That's really close, but I think it would have to go for the repressed citizen, Dennis. So help! I'm being repressed. Did you see that? You peasant. Oh, it comes out now, doesn't it? Eh? You hear him? Yeah, I think repressed citizen. That's mine.
Excellent. Okay, best quote. Oh God, you're going to take about an hour to do this one as well, I think, aren't you?
Girl from Ipanema music comes out. Yeah,
you can do your top five, if you want.
No, so it's all bits out the same thing. So you can pull out something like no. He doesn't leave the room, all that sort of stuff. You can do the help, I'm being repressed. You've got loads out of the Black Knight, including some not from him, which is lucky stupid bastard. You've got no arms left. I think my honourable mentions. Well, I didn't vote for you.
Yeah,
love that. But I think if I'm going to pick one, it's. You can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you.
That's literally my one. Yeah.
Which he does also follow up with a ever so slightly inferior version of the aquatic hierarchy and the moistened bin.
So that is the one. The one I've that's a different one. I think that went on for much longer than you think.
Yeah, probably.
So I've got the listen. Strange women lying in ponds distributing swords, and there's no basis of system for a government. Supreme executive powers derives from a mandate from the masses, not from some farcical aquatic ceremony.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Dennis. Oh,
Yeah, Dennis.
Nailed on
Yeah.
favourite character for me as well.
Dennis is my favourite character.
Yeah.
Again, closely followed by the King of Swamp Castle. But yeah, Dennis is my favourite character.
Brilliant. Okay, right. We move on to the hybrid. Do you have any hybrids? I couldn't come up with a hybrid for this one.
No, I couldn't.
My brain doesn't work in a hybrid for just thinking of a random hybrid film that I've randomly seen recently. But Carl, what do you have?
So my hybrid was actually for last week that we recorded. God knows what.
So last week was American Beauty. Is that what you mean?
No, that we recorded.
Oh, Jaws, The Revenge.
Yeah.
You've got a hybrid for Jaws, The Revenge.
Well, Jaws.
Right. Okay.
So you should be able to guess this one.
Okay.
If you cross Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Wait, Jaws and Jurassic Park.
Yes.
Right. Jaws and Jurassic Park. So you've got this one. You've got the park with the thing. What do you get? What, Jaws 3?
Yeah, I mean, arguably you get Jaws 3, but a Deep Blue Sea.
Why Jurassic Park though?
Because they bioengineered these sharks, put them in captivity, and then it's all gone wrong. They've broken out and they've killed everyone.
Okay, well, yeah, that seems fairly on brand.
yeah.
It's fairly on the nose. Yeah, sure.
So,
why not?
so
We'll
there
go
you
for
go.
it. So Jaws times
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Live typing people equals Deep
Blue Sea, the first one, not the second one,
Sea.
because that's hot dog dirt.
I've not even seen it. No. Okay, move on to our top 3 then. And we went around the houses here. What was your first choice for top 3, Carl? Do you remember what you suggested we should do?
Movies with an animal in the title.
Yeah, which I reminded Carl that we have already done.
Yeah, we've done that.
We did that for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So if you want to...
We should have just done martial arts then, but you were like, I haven't seen enough martial arts films.
Yeah, no, true. If you do want to know what our top 3 movies with an animal, then you can go all the way back to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
I'm a pro.
And get that. But what we have gone for is a top 3 featuring any of the Monty Python crew. So it's Carl just puts a fistful of nuts in his mouth. I struggled with this one, Carl. I thought it'd be easy, and it was because I was John Cleese. John Cleese has been in loads of stuff. John Cleese hasn't been in loads of good stuff.
True.
Like, he's done a lot of films. He's not done a lot of stuff that I actually like. So this is going to be...
Yeah, he's done like 176 films.
Yeah, he's done a lot.
Yeah,
But-
rubbish.
So I'm leaning quite heavily here on Gilliam and
Has Gilliam actually been in those movies?
no, but
just
he's
going for-
directed them,
okay,
so I'm
right.
counting. So yeah. Anyway, I struggled. So right. So for Cleese, the just missed out / is this really what I've resorted to? Is Die Another Day in the World Is Not Enough?
I've got The World Is Not Enough down.
Yeah.
As an honourable mention.
Yeah, he was a bit part in some of the Harry Potters. That's not making the list. Shrek 2, he was a voice. But
Yeah, I didn't
Shrek 2
include
is
the
not as
voice
good as
stuff.
Shrek, and
true.
yeah, he's done some voice stuff. So no, that doesn't make it. Have you got any other honourable mentions that you want to make?
Well, I've not broken them down by actor because it's just a whole top 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are you going for though, apart from Palin and Cleese, really?
Well, I know Idol. I've got an Idol one, Splitting Hairs.
I've not
Eric
seen it.
Idle. No, it's been a while since I watched that. My abiding memory of that, it's got Eric Idle and Rick Moranis in it. My abiding memory of it is just how foxy Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it.
Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it. What year are we talking?
It's in the 90s, so I've got a feeling like that. It's just one of those really fun 90s movies. It's not rated particularly highly, and it could be dog shit, but I don't know.
You have memories of it?
I have memories of it, and I feel like you could watch that and go, oh, do you know what? That's quite fun, that.
Yeah, but it's honourable mention.
That's honourable mention. You mentioned, I mean, if we're going directors, you mentioned Fear and Loathing.
Yeah.
Gilliam. Really like it. Likewise, 12 Monkeys. A lot of fun. Fear and Loathing, in particular. John Cleese, Clockwise. You seen that?
No.
Plays a grumpy teacher.
Okay.
Not bad. Fierce Creatures and Fish Called Wonder. Have you seen those?
Yeah, Fish Called Wonder. Yep. I've seen.
Don't mind them.
Creatures.
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of them in there. So Palin's in them. I think Eric Idle might be in those as well. Is Cleese
I
in
know
them
Palin's
too?
in it. I think Cleese is in it. I'm not sure about Eric Idle, but
And I had Either Will, Not Enough Down as well. But yeah, my top three.
what's your number 3?
Number 3. Oh, I've actually already said said one of them.
All right. What's your number 3?
Number 3, Splitting Hairs.
It's Split. Okay. So my number 3 is A Fish Called Wonder.
Yeah,
Again, need to rewatch because not seen it for a
Yeah, same.
long time, but I remember
it's quite well
liking
thought
it.
of though.
Yeah, I remember quite
Well
liking
thought
it.
of. I always
Number
get that
2?
and Fierce Creatures mixed up in. Is Fish Called Wonder the one with the chips and the tomato sauce in the nose
Yeah.
and the apple in the mouth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 2.
My number 2. It seems fucking mad to say this. So I've rated these 2 films. I've rated one of them higher than the other.
Holy Grail and Brian.
But in my top 3, Life of Brian, honourable mention.
Oh, right, okay.
Doesn't quite make it.
Doesn't okay.
In my top 3, I've got them the other way round.
Okay.
So have I got my rating wrong? Maybe I've got my rating wrong. Because my number 2 is this film.
Yeah.
My number 1,
Yeah.
Death of Stalin.
Wait, who's in Death of Stalin? Oh,
Palin.
Palin's in it. Oh, I completely missed that Palin was in Death of Stalin. And even though that wasn't the one I don't like, actually, that would probably make the list. I didn't even think of it. Completely missed that out.
Maybe I've got those the wrong way around though.
You do. What do you say was number 1?
Death of Stalin.
Yeah, but you do really like that.
I do really like it, but I also
think
really
you-
like this.
Yeah, I think you've actually you've got possibilities to quote this more than Death of Stalin. You both get to do a nice broad Yorkshire accent.
That's
for
true.
Both of them, so
Yeah.
yeah, happy with either. So my number 2.
So, friend of the pod, Johnny,
yeah.
this morning, because he's boarding a flight to Japan today.
Oh, nice.
He's going on a belated honeymoon.
Oh, well, very nice.
Yeah, 3-week job. Fantastic. Hit by some travel delays on the train getting down there. He's there. It's fine. It's worked out. But as he was happening, he sent me the gift. I mean, I am smiling. I am very fucking furious.
Which is just brilliant. Anyway, so my number 2 is Brazil.
Yeah.
And number 1 is 12 Monkeys. But I'm not happy with any of my top 3 because I need to rewatch them all, basically.
And you left this film out, which is ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Like it probably should appear in the top 3, to be fair.
Where do you stand on Life of Brian then?
Well, similar to this in a way, in that I've only saw it once, and it didn't like blow me away or anything. I was sort of lightly, it was fine. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah. But again, I imagine, like with this one, no spoilers for the next section. I imagine it's one of those that the more you watch it, it's going to be more rewarding. You're going to enjoy it. So yeah, like this will be one we ever revisit these top 3s at any point to see how things have changed. Then yeah, there could be some different entries in this for sure.
You mean if we ever do any exercises in data, in the data section?
Yeah, if we ever run out of actual content and just start repeating ourselves. Oh shit. Ooh. Yeah. Okay. That moves us on to our classics collection, Carl. All right. So I did a bit of an exercise of I just listed off a few weeks ago, right? I've just been working my way through those. I've now reached a point where I think I might get to one that isn't going to automatically get in for you, which is good.
Okay.
Anyway, to remind people, we're looking for stamina, standing the test of time. We're looking for girth, broad appeal. We're looking for penetration, memorable characters, lines, and scenes that have penetrated the zeitgeist. Oh no, the list is getting too long to list now. Apocalypse Now, Star Wars, Jaws, The Godfather, Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Predator, Toy Story, The Matrix, Good Will Hunting, Scarface, Pulp Fiction, Schindler's List, Shawshank Redemption, Indiana Jones, and The Last Crusade. No, Indiana Jones and the No. What's the first one?
Oh, it's just Indiana Jones, isn't it?
No, it's and there's something.
Oh, it's
No.
no, it's Holy Grail.
No, not Holy Grail.
No, but that's what they're after.
Yeah, but what the fuck is it? Oh my God.
It's not Last Crusade.
No, I know it's not the last Crusade. That's what I just said. Come on.
I know, you love Indiana Jones.
The thing.
This is great.
With the... Oh
really
my God.
I was really struggling here. This is great.
What the fuck?
Are you sure it's not just called Indiana Jones?
No. And the...
And the what? Is it not? And the Holy Grail?
No. Because they open up the... It's... Oh my...
The Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Jeez, the Ark is the word I was looking for. Right. Wow, that was embarrassing. Right, Indiana Jones. We'll just call it Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Goodfellas, Ghostbusters, Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, it's the other way,
Terminator 2,
isn't
and
it?
Gladiator.
It's the other way. It's called, that film's called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes.
And they later introduced the Indiana Jones and the...
No, I mean, I think it was always Indiana Jones and...
Was
and,
it?
I think so.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Anyway, how many do you have as
Well, can we
options?
talk about
And
this
do
film
we have any
first?
submissions?
Because I feel like this one's borderline.
Yeah, I know, but we haven't revealed our whether we've moved the needle yet. So I
Yeah,
feel like it's a
okay.
bit of a spoiler. if
All
we
right,
do that.
let's chuck that in with our ratings and stuff. No submissions this week.
Okay,
So I've got one and a backup.
okay, go for your.
And
go
if
for
you're
your one.
going for your controversial one, I feel,
yeah, I think we're safe.
I feel like this is in.
I don't think mine is controversial, but based on a conversation we've had off pod,
Okay.
I think we
All
might
right.
be in.
Listen,
for
I'm a fair man. We've been through this. Mine is Top Gun.
Top Gun. I feel the need. The need. the
Absolutely.
speed.
It's an iconic 80s film.
It is.
Might be the one that people think of for Tom Cruise more than any other.
Mission
That's a-
Impossible, I think, is probably.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, maybe.
and
That's
Top
an
Gun, isn't it?
interesting angle, isn't it? On
Well, maybe not Mission Impossible series rather than Mission Impossible the film.
actors associated with which film the most. That's interesting.
That'd be like a good family fortunes thing.
Yeah, we
wouldn't
should do that at some point. Yeah.
it? Yeah, I mean, Top Gun thing. I mean, yeah, I think it's definitely lost the test of time. It's definitely penetrated. And the other thing that we said at the start,
Girthy.
broad
appeal.
Broad appeal. I mean, it's definitely got broad appeal. Yeah, sure. I'd say
Yeah.
Top Gun.
Do
Enjoyable.
you like Maverick?
Yes, very much so.
That was one of the. I did not get to see it in the cinema, unfortunately.
Oh no, you lost. You missed out there.
I know, because I watched that and I was just like, oh, yeah, this is one of those popcorn experiences that just is pretty rare these days.
Yeah.
Really, really good.
Yeah. No, very good. Okay, so Top Gun's in. So my one, E.T.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
Really? 'Cause we talked about this.
No, I don't like it, but I can recognise it as a classic. It's not the same thing. I'm not you. It's fine.
Thank Christ.
Yeah, we don't want the two of them.
Ooh.
Fucking hell.
Oh. All right. Okay, so that's 2 in there. Okay, let's move on to the final section. Okay, so this is why you're wrong. Our closing statement from each, and we get to find out whether some needles have been moved. So, Carl, do you want to go first? Or do you want to
I'll go first, yeah.
Right, off
I
you
mean, I don't often write
go on?
anything down for this ahead of
All right.
time. I did write myself like a little bullet point as if to form a basis of how this might go, which was, it looks good, it's short, where's the harm? That's sort of irrelevant now, and I think a better line would just be, my work here is done.
So I want to bring in a couple of things. So I talked about watching this with the boy, right? So Theo's opinion, enjoyed it when they got poop thrown on their heads. Right at the end, Theo. Come on.
Yeah,
You enjoyed more than this. Be better.
yeah.
Emma's opinion, interestingly, as I said, that she was the one that will quote Shrubbery with a degree of regularity. She goes, it's not quite as good as I remember after she's
really?
watched it. Yeah, but I don't know if that's just like over a number of years she's not watched it and she's built it up in her head and it's just like, I enjoyed it, but it's not, maybe not quite hit it. Or she was on her phone the whole time. Who knows? I mean, I'm not saying she was. I'm not saying she was, but maybe.
Please don't strike me again, Emma.
So, again, I've not really written anything for this because I was interested to see where this was going. I kind of teased at the start that going through and making the notes in particular, you're kind of going, oh, that was good. Oh, that was good as well. Oh, yeah, okay, that was good. Okay, that was funny. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. And you've kind of got these classic classic scenes, throwing around the word classic there, but I think there are genuinely classic scenes in here that have penetrated in it. I mentioned at the start the number of laughs and stuff, and it easily passes the test for a comedy. Like,
Have you got a bar?
far.
Have you put a number on this?
Yeah. I think a small handful of laugh out louds and.
Yeah, but this is like when
peak
recipes call for a cup. What the fuck is a cup?
A cup is a measurement. It's a natural number of mils. You're fine. You don't just get like your biggest mug and dip it in.
Well, that's a cup.
So it does easily pass that, and I genuinely think that this is where you have some comedies. I think where you watch them, you go, "Oh, that was funny." You revisit, no, it's not really aged very well, or it's not really doesn't stand repeat viewings. This is definitely not one of those. I think this is definitely one that rewards repeat viewings because of the clever lines bit that are in there, because of the absurdity that you lean into it. And, it's always a fun job task to talk to someone like yourself who really likes it and has the quotes at the tip of their tongue for all of it and could throw it out and is clearly well versed in it, because you realize how much it has penetrated. You realize how and the quality of the lines that are within it as well. So I think, long story short, I'm definitely moved to a like, and I've got a feeling that this can be one that you can continue to watch, and it will continue to get better and better as you go as well. And because the boys watched it and enjoyed it, this could be one again that you rewatch further down the line. It's an hour and a half. It's perfect for a comedy film. Like we slag off the length of film so much, but it's like an hour and a half for a comedy movie is absolutely perfect, particularly one like this.
Well, it comes back to that thing of it's not necessarily about the length, it's does it overstay its welcome?
No.
And this absolutely doesn't. And sometimes you can earn a longer welcome, and that's fine. That's why, not necessarily about the length, but this is on brand. So you're wrong.
Yeah.
Would you like to know where else you're wrong?
Sure.
What would you... Do you want to tell me the film that Harrison Ford starred in 1981? The title of it.
What?
Harrison Ford starred in the film called Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, so it's not Indiana Jones and the...
No. Indiana
So
Jones
it's only the
doesn't
second and
appear.
the third.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Well, good.
Wrong twice. Well
Doubling
done.
down on the wrong one. Good stuff. So, Carl, your rating for this one?
Yeah. I go back to my top three. I was saying, well, I'd sort of put Death of Stalin at a 5. That's probably a bit over the top. I think last time I rated that post-pod, I maybe moved that down to 4.5. This I'm sort of thinking is 4.5. I love it. I think I could go 4.5. I'm going to go 4.5.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if it was any lower, really. Like
I said, I listed 17 scenes, of which are basically
do
that's
that
the movie.
Do that for another comedy.
Yeah, you couldn't do it. And to hit with what I think is 15 or 16 out of 17, incredible. So yeah, 4.5. I'm going fantastic.
So originally, right, when on my old rating system, the easily pleased Simon scale, I'd rated this 3.5, which I don't remember rating it that highly, to be fair.
But that was easily pleased, Simon.
It was easily pleased, Simon. So I was like, at the start of this, as prior to watching, I was like, oh, that might be moving down to 2.5. Really, like that's probably more in the realms of it. Like, it's not bad, but it's not like I'm not the fuss. I think I'm probably going to stick at 3.5.
Yeah.
For it, and I think there's potential for it to go further. So, yeah, it's been a good one to do. Rewatchability, Carl. I think this might be a very yes for you.
Oh my god, very yes. I mean, I did watch it twice this week, so.
Oh, did you?
But yeah, because I watched it with a friend the first time, and then with the family the second time. So.
And I think it's definitely one of those you could watch, with a friend with some beers and stuff.
Oh yeah.
If they're both, particularly if you're both familiar with it and stuff, so you can basically be talking all over it and quoting the shit out of it.
Yeah.
As you go, and during and after. But yeah, I've put it's solid. It's a solid yes.
It's kind of one of these as well, right? And this is where it gets back to actually how good it is. And we have to caveat this with comedy is still a personal taste.
Yeah.
But it's one of those when you do like it. So the friend I watched this with, he knows who he is. Went, surely you like this one because he likes it. So it becomes like a surely you like it. Like you can't who doesn't like this? And it's like, you end up getting into like a sort of, well, my God, how can you not? It's so good. How can you not like this? And again, personal taste. Some people aren't gonna. That's fine, but yeah, it's really up there.
It is funny when you speak to people and you say, "Oh, what are you doing next?" And you say, and you're just like, "Oh, please say you like this." Like, because they're just like, if you say you don't like this, it's just like, just going to lose all respect for you. Cool, good stuff. All right, Carl, you got anything else?
Nope.
Alrighty, and that's all we've got. So if we moved the needle for you this week, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It really does dismember the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, more chaste audience. Our Bluesky Instagram and Twitter is MTN Movie Pod. Our YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. You can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow, comment wherever you are. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to get a sword thrown at me by some watery tart and wield supreme executive power. Join us next week as we discuss Gone Girl and see if we can movie the needle for each other. Goodbye.